Hello and welcome to the new video. If this is your first time here, my name is Hannah, and in this vlog I will be concentrating on completing my September TBR, which is me finishing the series that I have started and not finished yet. I have now completed a Swan Soldier series by Kingfisher, and I also have completed A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. That was in my last video, and in this video we will be finishing A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, book 2 of the series, Good Girl Bad Blood, and we have book 3, As Good as Dead. I have already read book 1 in June and I really enjoyed it, and I also read the little novella Killjoy that was prequel to the series. So I've read that novella before, after I've read book 1, and I think that was in June and we are in September, and I thought it's about time that I have completed this series and ticked those 2 books off my list. So we'll start with this one, Good Girl Bad Blood. Right, so I actually had to read a quick recap, because even though I rated this book 5 stars, I can't really remember what it was about exactly. But yeah, it was about Pip, and turns out at the end of her high school she was doing a project, and for that project she decided to revisit a cold case. And 5 years prior there was a girl that was found murdered, and there was this boy Sal that was accused of murdering her, and during the investigation he killed himself. So 5 years on, she is doing this investigation for her school project, and turns out Sal was actually innocent. And this much I can remember, and I think Sal's brother was helping her in the investigation. And was there something to do with the teacher? Can't remember exactly now. Book 2, Good Girl Bad Blood. Someone is missing, nobody's talking, but this time everyone is listening. Pip is not a detective anymore. Her true crime podcast about the murder case she solved last year has gone viral. Yet Pip insists her investigating days are behind her, but she will have to go back on her word when someone close to her goes missing and the police can't do anything about it. If they won't investigate, then Pip will, uncovering more of her town's dark secrets along the way. But will she find the answers before time runs out? Okay, so once again, young adult thriller, and in book 1 we had, which I really enjoyed, we had, what was it called? Production logs, where it was kind of like snippets of interviews, and we have a map of town. Right, okay, so there are some mixed media things, like there's a WAV file from, I think it's a recording of an interview. There's a review of her podcast. There's sketches and stuff. So in line with book 1, we have the extra content in form of those little tidbits like that. So I really enjoyed that in book 1, and I'm glad to see it is still in book 2. So this book is 413 pages. So let's see how quick I can read this. I think I will be part reading, part listening to this. I have placed holds in the library for the audiobook. I might check if BookBeat has that, and if it has, then I'll be part listening, part reading to this one. Hello, good people of the YouTube community. I have an update. I am almost finished with Good Girl Bad Blood. I have about 30 pages left. Wow, I'm actually enjoying this book. I've been half reading, half listening to it. The 30 pages I have left now. I think I'm just gonna, after I've changed, I literally just come from work. After I've changed, I'll go downstairs, make myself a nice cup of tea, and just read this and finish this book. Everything is coming to the conclusion right now. It's very much like book 1 was, so in a sense of like the plot and discovering who's who and what's what and who is not who. I think things are getting clearer now. Of course, I can't say what exactly is getting clearer in case you haven't read it yet, but things are getting clearer now, and I think in the last 30 pages there will be a big reveal, because as it was with a Good Girl's Guide to Murder, not everything is as it seems, pretty much all the way to the end. So I think the last 30 pages that I have left will be crucial, and we'll just find out everything there is to find out still in this book. 30 pages, I'm gonna read that, and I'm going to start book 3, which is As Good as Dead. I actually like the characters in this book, so I'm enjoying my time with this one. Also, I have a delivery. This is an exclusive copy from Waterstones, and the book that I'm talking about is let's do some ASMR. Okay, are you ready? The book I've pre-ordered, and the book that I'm talking about is Immortal Dark by TGGBB. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name and you're watching this. This is a vampire romance, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but let me just show you the book. So this is the dust jacket. This is actually embossed. I feel like my camera is not focusing properly. I don't know why. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like the camera is not focusing properly. But yes, this is the dust jacket. And the edges. Gorgeous edges. What I really wanted to show you is the end papers. Okay, so they are nothing special, but to me they are. Ta-da! We have hot pink. We have, this is the naked cover. This is a silver foiling and the edge as well, spine. Oh, we have a lovely map inside. That needs to be added to my ever-growing catalogue. Okay, let's just read a quick synopsis. Okay, so it's a first book in a trilogy. Orphaned heiress Kidan Adain grew up far from her hidden society she was born into, where human bloodlines gain power through vampire companionship. When his sister June disappears, Kidan is convinced a vampire stole her. The very vampire bound to the family, the cruel yet captivating Sasenios Sagad. To find her sister, Kidan must infiltrate the elite Axley University and survive living with Susenios, even as he does everything he can to drive her away. As Kidan uncovers the heart of the ruthless vampire underworld, she grows determined to bring Axley to his knees. When her thirst for revenge collides with Susenios' lust for blood, the pair become entangled in a game of seductive desires and murderous secrets. Yay! So that will go on the shelves in a catalogue first, and then on the shelves, and I will go and change and finish reading Good Girl, Bad Blood, and so we can move on to the next one. Yay! I have finished such a fun read. Somehow this girl always finds trouble. Or the other way around, the trouble finds her. I really enjoyed this book. It's pretty much the same as book 1, but obviously we are following a different case. It's a brother of one of Pip's friends is gone missing, and they report it to the police, and police declares this missing person as a low risk, and they decide not to do anything about it, resources, etc, etc. So the family reaches out to Pip and asks for help, and after much deliberation, Pips agrees, and she starts her investigation, the interviews with different people and whatnot, and eventually she solves the case. In this sense, it's pretty much the same as book one, and also in a way kind of very very much unrealistic. Little Kilton sounds like a very small village or very small town near Amersham, and I actually live not far from Amersham, and I can imagine the community would be quite tight-knit, and I think Amersham is bigger than the actual Little Kilton where Pip lives and where all this is happening. So knowing how Amersham is and how big and how of a tight community it is, it feels a little bit weird reading about all this happening in this little village. So in that sense, it's a little bit unrealistic. But regardless of the fact, I did enjoy it. I did rate it 4 stars. It reads like a book for a younger audience, but you know, it's nothing bad about it. It just, I think sometimes when you want a easy read, a fun read, an enjoyable read, this is the kind of book you would reach for. It's very, it's quite PG, like, you know, she has a boyfriend and everything, but they, you know, there's nothing really, nothing is being said about them even kissing or anything like that. So it's quite PG. The last scene, or one of the last scenes, was a little bit drastic, but still, it was, I think, PG drastic. Also, what I appreciated in this book is the fact how seamlessly Holly Jackson connects this book to book one. But yeah, I enjoyed this book and I recommend it. I have book number 3 now to start, slightly bigger, but again, I have an audiobook for that, so I will probably part read and part listen. I think I'm gonna start it now, and I'm going to continue working on my blanket. Hello. Wow. I actually don't know what to say about this book, because this book is dark and I did not expect it to be as dark. This is so different than the other books in the series. I have read 316 pages. I'm past the halfway mark, definitely. I've got about 240 pages left, and at first I didn't know what to think about. I started it yesterday. Okay, so rewind. Okay, so like I said, I started this book yesterday. I mostly listened to it. I've read some last night, but then mostly listened to it. And I was, in the beginning, I was a little bit, not disappointed, but this book was just so different. It was mostly revolving around Pip and her PTSD that she acquired in book 2. And yeah, it was just, see, like I cannot talk about it. It was just so different. So at first I was like, oh, what is it? This is so not like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Like, this was just so different. It was all about how stressed she was, how depressed, and you know, the PTSD that she's going through. And then something happened just recently in the book, and it kind of it shook me, because I didn't see that this book is gonna go in this direction. I didn't read the synopsis because I kind of knew what to expect, and boy, it's so different to what I expected. I'm really liking it. It's definitely much darker than the other books, and definitely something I have not expected from this. I'm enjoying it so far. I think probably maybe tomorrow I will finish it. I've got a few hours of audio left. Right now I'm just gonna get my stuff ready for work for tomorrow, and then I'm going to sit down and I'm going to listen to this book and maybe finish it today or tomorrow, we'll see. But I am now really curious to see how this book ends, because the twist that just happened, the situation that just happened, I bet you no one expected this to happen. And you know, whoever was reading book 1, 2 or whatever, the prequel, they didn't know that this is going to happen. So I am curious to see how this is going to resolve, how this is going to finish, and I kind of see how this will be the end of a Good Girl's Guide to Murder series as well, which I think it is. Is it? I think it is. I don't know what's wrong with this camera. Anyway, so if I was out of focus, I'm really sorry. I don't know if it's the camera or just my eyes are being blurry, because obviously I can't see very well. So maybe it's just my eyes and everything else is fine. So anyway, I'm going to go get my shit ready for work, and then I'm going to sit down and listen to this and do my blanket. Hello, good morning, welcome on Saturday. It's my day off today, and I have just finished reading As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This is the third book in a series, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And what can I say? I think this was my favorite book in a series. I gave it 5 stars. The whole series is a young adult thriller / crime, and they kind of all feel like directed at the younger audience. This book is definitely much darker, more mature, quite graphic in some places as well. Yeah, it is definitely much different than the other 2 books. Also, the case that we follow in this third book is different. I actually have to say I didn't expect this to be the case based on the other 2 books in the series that I've read. I thought it was going to be quite similar, and about halfway through the book, when the whole plot actually came to light, like this is what we are going to talk about, it took me by surprise, I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, the book was very much about Pip going through her PTSD after what happened in book 2, and it was just showing her in this very depressed state, and how is she trying to get over what she was feeling, maybe in a not the best way. So it's a little bit sad in the beginning, definitely, and a little bit slow going until that other thing happens in the book, and then everything kind of just takes a turn. And from then on, the pace is just like fast. Everything is happening really fast. And it shows how clever this girl is. And my God, Pip, wow, such a clever girl. So yeah, like I said, this book is different in a sense of a plot to the other 2. And also, I think going into this series, you kind of have to suspend your belief, because you need to stop asking yourself questions like I did in book 2. Right, so how is this even possible that in a small town like this, all this shit is happening? Like, it wouldn't happen.
But you kind of have to suspend your belief and just go in and have a good time with the book, have a good time with the characters. I love the characters. I think Pip is such a good character. You can see throughout the series, she's grown up and she matured, and how she's looking at things and her behavior. And, you know, Ravi is a fantastic character, so supportive. He's literally, chef's kiss. Like, this is what you want from your partner. And the whole relationship, I think, is so lovely. And also, I have to say, I appreciated the fact that throughout the books, the relationship that Pip and Ravi have is portrayed in such nice way, in such lovely way. And to me, it just says, like, you know, see, you can do this without including shitloads of smut in a book. This is what we are seeing a lot nowadays, a lot of smut in the books. And, you know, sometimes you just kind of have to hold back and use your skill to show a growing, maturing relationship without that. And, you know, some people can do it. Holly Jackson could do it. So I actually really appreciated that. And the whole lot of friends that Pip has, they all such nice people. I think Holly Jackson did a really good job building the characters and evolving them throughout the series as well. And, you know, seeing everything come to an end in book 3 and how they all got together and came together, I think that's a really nice thing. And it just shows, you know, I don't know, I just loved it. And it shows her skill developing those characters in these 3.5 books. Right, so towards the end, there's a really heartbreaking scene, and I was like, Pip, why are you doing this? Like, it's not necessary. But I think it was necessary for the ending to have an impact, because the way the book had finished, it was just perfect. And let's just leave it at that. It was a really good book. I really enjoyed the series. Generally, if I was to rate the entire series, I would definitely say probably 4 stars. Actually, let me look at my ratings and then I will give you an average. So according to my calculations, the entire series for me is 4.25 star, which is really good for the series. And that's including the little novella that I rated 3 stars, because obviously it was a little bit short. So yeah, that's that. On that note, I can now say that I have completed a Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson series, and I am so happy. I will be keeping these books on my shelves. This is something that I would recommend to other people to read if you're looking for a good time and just easy and fun read. I know, don't get discouraged by the young adult audience that these books are directed to. I think every now and then it's nice to kind of have a break from serious stuff and you know, heavy things. Highly recommend that. I am also so happy to say that we are moving in my September challenge. We have started with 4,348 pages, and after today, after finishing the books that I've read in the previous vlogs, What Feasts at Night and A Cord of Silver Flames, and now completing these 2 books as well. Oh my god, I have a cold. So after reading all these 4 books, I now only have 2,477 pages to read in September, hopefully. So I think so far so good. I've been really enjoying the books that I have been reading. I will be moving to the next one. I will be reading Jonesbo, but that will be in the new vlog. So that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching and sticking with me and reading those books with me. If you have enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to like and comment. Let me know if you've read this series, and if you want to leave a comment and don't know what to say, leave me a running girl emoji, because in book 3, Pip does a lot of running. And subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!